Hey everyone, Cody here. It's my Monday. I'm just on my little break right now. Today was awesome. I woke up at 5:30. I got my ass out of bed. I went downstairs. I turned the heat on. It was super cold. Then I slammed 32 ounces of water. Then I did 50 push-ups. Then I read some more out of my book. Right now I'm reading 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote for Chaos by Jordan Peterson. And it's been a really, really interesting read. And when I started working on myself, Jordan Peterson was like my biggest role model, because watching Jordan Peterson give lectures in front of big crowds was insane for me, because I was starting to get my feet wet in career development. I was working for this nonprofit agency where essentially we would help people that are down and out. We would help them get jobs, or we would help them get into like training for their career, such as food safe, first aid, WMIS, all those things. There was parts of me that really enjoyed working at this place, and I learned so many skills working in this place. When I applied for the job, I did not think I was going to get it. I did not think I was qualified. The job title was for a facilitator, which is basically like a teacher, but you're not making the material, you're just teaching the material. So I had to teach in front of 10 people. And then my other job title was called career development professional or career development coach. So a lot of times the clients that I would deal with directly were guys that had not had a job for quite some time, or they had just gotten out of jail, or they had just gotten out of treatment, or they were on their way to one of those places. That happened a lot too. And when you're working with the vulnerable population, it can be really difficult, but not for what you think. The vulnerable population itself and the people with trauma and the people who I was coaching and helping, that's simple for me. That's like second nature for me, because these are my people. Because 2.5 years ago, I was living in a homeless shelter. 3 years ago, I was living in a homeless shelter. So, the thing is with me is like, when my son's mother passed away, it just shattered me. I had been sober for probably 6 months when she passed away. After she passed away, I wasn't in a good place, and I chose to relapse. Luckily, my relapse only lasted about a week. This was May of 2022. And I had some good people in my life at that time who were able to step in, make sure I'm okay, make sure I get well. And they got me into a treatment center, and I was there for 2 months. And that was the most difficult 2 months of my life. And it really revealed a lot about myself to me. But anyway, when I got out of that treatment center after 60 days, I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to live. I had nowhere to cook food, nowhere to hang my hat, nowhere to sleep. I had to go to the homeless shelter. The people who worked at the treatment center, they drove me there. And you should have seen the look on the guy's face when he dropped me off. All I could feel from him was like, you're making a big mistake, dude. But my other option was to stay in treatment. And the thing is, when you stay in treatment, it's not like it's second stage. You literally have to stay going to group all day, doing all the treatment stuff that you do in the first 60 to 90 days. I get that there's guys that need to stay in first stage treatment for like a year. I've done that before. With all the times that I went to treatment in the past and all the programs I've done, all I needed was 60 days, this last time I got sober 3 years ago, in a safe place where I could kind of come to terms with what was happening with her passing, and come to terms with my life is going to be very different from this point on. Coming to terms with those things. Being in that treatment center for 60 days was a totally different experience for me, because every other treatment center I'd been to before, it was kind of like just a business. Like they were just doing it for the money. But the place I went this time, they weren't doing it for the money, and they didn't care about the money that much either. And that was the first thing they said. Cody, this place is different. We actually care about the individual. We're not going to co-sign your victim mentality. We have the money to operate without needing the government. And with the government comes all the rules and regulations and things that they have to put up with and the things that they have to co-sign to. A lot of these like government run facilities, they just keep the person stuck. They keep them small. They keep them a victim. That's why we seem to have a 2-tier medical system in Canada. You'll never see a doctor, lawyer, police officer, captain, army sergeant going to the treatment centers that I went to, right? No, they're gonna go to treatment centers that are like high class, luxury. It would literally be a vacation for me and you. And the funny thing I find is like a lot of these treatment centers, except the one I went to, this last one I went to, they don't like medication. They don't like how the doctors tell you you're sick and you can never heal and you're done. They don't like the victim mentality, and they like God. And guess what? I did not. And I didn't jive too well in this place. Every day was a fight. Every day was chaos. Every day was them trying to point out where I'm going wrong to get me to take responsibility. I couldn't see any of that. I had to learn the hard way. People wanted to help me. I burnt the bridge. I hurt them. I disrespected them. I basically slapped them in the face for trying to help me and love me, because that's the type of person I am by default. That's why self-growth, self-development, working on my trauma, working on myself is a non-negotiable. I have no choice, because I will just simply being, just simply living, just sitting here. I've never been able to just sit still and enjoy. It's like, I'm not saying I'm a victim either. I'm saying I'm happy because I have this drive to keep pushing forward. I will not quit. I don't care. I want to help people. My intentions are good. I need this. I need this for me. You don't understand. I wish I could simply just sit at home and stay on my computer all day and just be ignorant, but I can't. Therefore, I've chosen the path I'm choosing. And I'm starting to fall in love with the process. I'm not really looking for a specific destination anymore. I'm not really looking for an end result. I'm falling in love with the process of working on myself and building something and fulfilling my potential for once in my life. So, for what that's worth, I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for letting me share. Food for thought. Definitely a good pump going on after gym steam. I'm just making some butternut squash soup right now. Let me show you. I got my phone plugged in, but I got the vegetables. I got some maple bacon. I'm a Canadian patriot. Maple bacon. Vegetables from God. In the air fryer. More maple bacon. This is Canadian autumn soup.